having me. I want to just quickly kind of show you some of my previous works and some of my work progress and process. This is, I think back about 10 years ago, I started building these environments for people to explore. They're all made out of materials I get from hardware stores, like painter's plastic, and people were giving these, like, they can put on these coats to get these remote controls, and then they can use these remote controls as they explore the environment. The remote control activate different lights and fans and inflate different plastic, and as you walk through, you would kind of discover different things. Sometimes I also modify different toys, the toys I find on the street or any places. Whenever I'm traveling, I always look for different things, and that's some of them. I also work with liquid water. That's a combination of water, highlighter pen, and pine sol, or any other antibacterial fluid. And as people walk in, the motion sensor activates the pump, and it pumps through these series of tubing, and then it goes through the different bottles, and sometimes it mixes with air, and it creates these little segments and lines, and kind of like this here, you can see those little dots. And then when the pump stops, the gravity pulls it back down. This is an installation, it's for mouse to explore. It's in this family park in Belgium. And so I built this kind of discotheque, or this little playland for the mouse. There's about maybe like 100 white mouse living in there. And then, so it was one of the more challenging space to install, because when I'm installing the mouse, they're trying to climb up on my shoes and my pants, and I always try to be very careful not to step on them. But there's one moment I was wiring, and then I accidentally just stepped on one, and I felt really bad, so I went to the pet store and I bought a black mouse, and then I put it into that environment where there's all these white mouse, and I'm kind of curious what happened now. They have there's these gray mouse or these different types of color mouse there. I also use the same plastic. It's painter's plastic, very thin. You can get them at Home Depot, about 0.35 mil, and I just hand tie them and then inflate them with those 20-inch box fans. Those, I think they're about like $20 at any hardware store during the summertime. And I tried to put them in different spaces, environment, having come out different places. This was at Dumbo Art Center. It was coming out of the window of the building. And when it's outdoor, the wind just blows it around, and people can play with it. And then they're so thin, eventually they just slowly get destroyed, and that would be the end of it. And I've collaborated with dancers. This was at Union Square Park, where the tube is coming out of a car, the trunk and window. And this was kind of a spontaneous collaboration. There were dancers there. They said, "Do you want to collaborate?" I said, "Sure, go ahead." And so everything is kind of improvised on the site. This was at a furniture store in Soho. They let me use their store for one day, so when people go through and look for furniture, they have to walk through that. This is at the New York City Panorama. I've also working with a lot of computer cooling fans. And garbage bags, and magnifying sheet, Tupperware, a lot of the things you might find them at home. So this one you can see over here, these are garbage bags, and this is a Tupperware container. There's a magnifying sheet for reading, and all the movements here, it's all done by the fans. When the fan actually pushes the work, making them move, and then inflating the tubes. Those tubes are also made out of the same plastic you saw earlier. This is, I think some of you might have used these. These are automatic night lights. When you go travel, you can put your light into it, so when the sun goes down, the light turns on. When the sun comes up, the light turns off, so it looks like somebody's at home. So what I did was I took that device and then added an extension line, cut out the light sensor, and physically extended it. So now the light sensor is out away from the device, and then I use modeling clay, and I stick the sensor onto the television. and I videotaped my eye, so the dark part of my eye make it think it's nighttime, so it turns on the light bulb, and then the eyelid make it think it's daytime, so it shuts it off. So then I started expanding with that idea, and this one has 4 eyes, one of them turning on the red light, red LED, and the other one's blue, and some of the fans and inflating these two. This one is a TV. When it hits the sensor, you actually turn on the motor, so rotate the television itself around. So it's like that. The eyes in the TV is alive. It's trying to move itself in a very primitive way. This one is pulling a can. This one is turning on this radio with also a computer cooling fan, and it inflates it too. This one is watching a video of how another piece is made. This one is activating the water flowing. It's the same liquid I used before, the one with the highlighter pen and the pine saw. So when the eye moves into it, it activates the pump, and then it pumps through. It's called eye fountain. So at that time, I was just using a lot of my eyes. So then I thought, okay, I want to collect more different people's eye, maybe people from different countries, genders, and so I built this helmet, and so it's easier for other people to put it on. And in front of the helmet, there is a camera, and what I did was they have these series of image. It's always attached to the helmet. So one is a cat, the other one's like a family picture, and then I draw their eyes so they can kind of calibrate their eyes to always in the center. And basically the idea is like I'm kind of extracting their eyes, and these are some of the volunteers that have donated their eyes. So every time I record their eyes, and I take a picture of them wearing the helmet. And the helmet's made out of just a bicycle helmet. And then at the end, I have all these collection of eyes I can use for future pieces. And I started also experimenting with makeup and putting it on the eye. So you can see, I think some of you might have seen it at the Natural History Museum during that show, The Bright Beneath. In 2007, during my research at the Smithsonian Artist Research Fellowship, I was looking at a lot of bioluminescent organisms, like the different the fish and jellyfish and different things, and these are some of the stuff. Kind of quick view on what I saw, and then looking at different light organs, and a lot of them are just very strange looking for me. There's this one is a flash-sized fish. They have these light organs on their cheek. Then we produce these lights, and then there are these other ones like gopher eel, marine hatchet fish. They have this nice light organ on their belly to help them kind of camouflage with the predators from below them looking up. There's all these big eyes, and the firefly squid, vampire squid. It inverts itself during danger, and then they do have these light organs as well. And then just the shape of them, how they move, everything's kind of slow motion. And, it's kind of, when I look at a lot of these, it's very meditative for me to show everything in slow motion. And it's like ostracod, they shoot out these light missiles to distract the predator, or from the opposite direction they're swimming. It's also, this one, it's a jellyfish that's it also has these very strange looking tentacles and these glow patterns. And while I was doing the research, I did come across some other things, like this one is not bioluminescent, it's iridescent, which I learned when I arrived. But I love the way it looks, and the shape, the color, it's just really beautiful. And that's some of the stuff I kind of came across. I want to show you some of the work, how I make the work process. This is one of the piece, if you have seen the show at the Natural History Museum, this is one of the centerpieces. This is the almost like step-by-step how I make the piece. So I started out with like plexiglass, and then this is a Tupperware container. Using a lot of the wires, LEDs, And then that's the relay board. And it's marking each channel so I know which one controls which one. I mix it with a microcontroller. These use a lot of computer cooling fans. I think that piece has almost 60, 70 computer cooling fans at various speeds. These are the higher power ones that allows it to push the piece around. That's the bottles, and you can see this Mr. Clean. I use Mr. Clean sometimes. This is how I made the tentacle with that plastic. I use a sealer, and then I cut it in that shape, and I seal it, and then inflate it. This is at my studio, or the old studio I just moved about 3 weeks ago. This is, and then I test them out in the studio and just test run the piece, and writing the program. So I kind of watch the piece as I'm writing it, and just I can see how it moves and how it inflates and deflates. And then that's the bottom part. That's a corner of a garbage bag. This was at the installation process. We started with the different lightings, and then putting kind of playing around with different lights, and then using the space. And I was shooting everything on time lapse because it's kind of something I've been trying to do more often now. So to kind of get the feel of how the process looks like. Thank you.